Time now for the most listened to talk show in Vegas.
You think we're fighting, and I think we're finally talking.
Talking with those on the right, the left, and everywhere in between.
Quiet. Shut up and let me answer, okay?
Answer.
Pot him down, please, because this is another MAGA who doesn't understand how to have a conversation with somebody.
It's Pushing the Limits with Brian Shapiro.
I'm kind of a big deal.
This show will make you laugh, make you cry, and it might raise Brian's blood pressure.
You know what, dude? People like you, all you do is make excuses for the orange turd, and I've had it.
All the smash and grabs and everything. Yeah, tell me, what race is doing that, first of all?
Okay, so you want to be a racist now. Okay.
Race is doing it. Seen it on the news?
I don't watch Klan TV like you do, sir.
Buckle up, because it's Pushing the Limits with Brian Shapiro.
You're different. I like you.
Now, here's Brian.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us on a Thursday. Appreciate you being here on the FMAM dial, on my YouTube page at PTL Radio Show, of course, the Occupy Democrats Network. And we are on the Washington Press Network. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitch, we're everywhere, we're on X, and we appreciate you being a part of what we do. Big show lined up for you today. Anna Braga is going to be joining us in studio in hour number 2. If you don't know who Anna Braga is, well, you can Google her. A very beautiful young lady who used to be a huge MAGA supporter, and now she has switched and turned to voting for Kamala Harris. We'll ask her why. She is a social media influencer, and we'll be taking some calls. But I have to start off the show. I am continued to be mesmerized by the bigotry, the hatred, and the racism that the far right continue to show on a regular basis. And Representative Clay Higgins is a perfect example. This is a guy who used to work in law enforcement. Clay Higgins is a guy who was a Republican and sadly has some power as an elected official. The Democrats are trying to censure him, rightfully so. I'll get to that in a moment. This is the tweet that Representative Higgins didn't just put on Truth Social, he put it on X. And I'm going to read it for you. And it is in regards to the legal, I repeat, legal Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. Quote, lots of laughs. These Haitians are wild, eating pets, voodoo, nastiest country in the Western Hemisphere, cults, slapstick gangsters. But damned if they don't feel all sophisticated now, filing charges against our president and VP. All these thugs better get their mind right and their ass out of the country before January 20th. First of all, there are wonderful Haitians in this country, and I will particularly refer to Springfield, Ohio, albeit in this country legally. Children, families, who want a better lives for their children, who are hard workers and good people. And this racist son of a bitch goes on social media categorizing the entire country and all of Haitian people, the wonderful Haitian people, by the way, that are in the United States of America as thugs, gangsters, cults. No, sir, you are in a cult. And you are the one that is repeating the same lies that your cult leader, Donald Trump, said on a debate stage last week. This tweet is vile. It can incite violence. It's racist. It's bigoted in nature. And again, doubling down on the lies that somehow these legal Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, are stealing your pets and eating them, and somehow filing a lawsuit is a horrible thing, holding people accountable for their language, and somehow he's attacking them for that also. So what happened after this vile, despicable, disgusting tweet? Well, I'm very proud to say that a congressman that is from my district, Stephen Horsford, stepped up and had an interaction with him. And now they are trying to censure him, and he should be censured, by the way. This is disgusting. And it's amazing that there are still Republicans out there that are defending this tweet. So I'm going to go for you step by step here, starting with Stephen Horsford on the House floor yesterday. Here's what Horsford had to say.
I am submitting by resolution a motion to censure Representative Clay Higgins for violating Rule 9 by bringing discredit and disgrace to the House of Representatives.
Amen. I am proud of Stephen Horsford for doing the right thing. And then there's Mike Johnson, Mr. Religious. You know, I talk about this all the time on this show, how far right-wing MAGA Republicans hide behind their religion to try to make that as an excuse for their bigotry. I talk about it all the time. I talk about it when it comes to gay marriage. They say, well, my religion tells me to do that. No, it doesn't. They talk about transgenders. Oh, well, it's my religion. And now in this case, blatant racism, and they want to hide behind their Christianity. Listen to House Speaker Mike Johnson's response when asked about Clay Higgins' despicable and indefensible comments on Twitter.
Any comment on the tweet that Clay Higgins put out today about hateful?
I heard about that on the floor just now as well. Clay Higgins is a dear friend of mine and a colleague from Louisiana, and a very frank and outspoken person. He's also a very principled man. And I think he tweeted, I didn't even see it, but he tweeted something today about Haitians, and he was approached
by January 20th.
Okay. Well, look, he was approached on the floor by colleagues who said that was offensive. He went to the back. I just talked to him about it. He said he went to the back and he prayed about it and he regretted it and he pulled the post down. That's what you want a gentleman to do. I'm sure he probably regrets some of the language he used, but you know, we move forward. We believe in redemption around here.
Yeah, we believe in redemption. First of all, that's a lie. Mike Johnson is lying. How do we know this? Because Higgins told CNN, quote, "It's all true in my tweet. I can put up another controversial post tomorrow. Not a big deal. Like something stuck to the bottom of my boot. Let's move on." So this idea that he went to the back of the room and he prayed to Jesus, because that's what these right-wing evangelical religious nutjob racists do. They hide behind their religion when they're caught. This is who Higgins is. He is a bigot. He is a racist. He is a horrible human being. And when they are caught saying and doing horrible things, they say, well, you know, I prayed to God. No, that doesn't cut it. The only reason why he took the tweet down is because he was forced to by a few members of his own Republican Party. They pressured him to do so. It wasn't because of Democrats. And then there's Steve Scalise, who was another despicable human being. This is the guy who voted against stem cell research, and then when he got cancer, he used stem cell research. This is the same guy who attacked people for wearing masks, and then when he had to wear a mask because of his illness, he had no problem wearing a mask. This is the guy days after a mass shooting who wears his AR-15 pin on his suit. Steve Scalise is a human piece of garbage. And listen to Steve Scalise's response when he heard that Democrats were trying to censure this bigot racist.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Louisiana seek recognition?
First of all, the tweet has been deleted already and removed, but I object
For what purpose
to the motion. And if we want to go through every
Gentleman will
tweet
suspend.
from the other side, we'll be happy to do it.
Gentleman has
and
not
you
been
would be
recognized.
Appalled. No, we're appalled by you that you would defend this bigot. The same guy, by the way, who voted for David Duke. Yes, that's right. Higgins back in the day, saying himself that he knew that David Duke was a Nazi, still voted for a Nazi for governor because that's who this guy is. Can you imagine? This guy Higgins was in law enforcement. Geez, I wonder where Higgins got these ideas. Where could Higgins have possibly gotten the idea that Haitian immigrants are stealing your pets and eating them? Maybe it's from this guy?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
That's right. That buffoon, while 67 million people were watching the presidential debate, again, shared these unproven and debunked claims that legal Haitian immigrants are stealing your pets and eating them. Oh, and it got worse. This was him at a rally the other day.
Do you think Springfield will ever be the same? I don't think. The fact is, and I'll say it now, you have to get them the hell out. You have to get them out. I'm sorry. Get them out. Can't have it. Can't have it. They've destroyed it.
It is so despicable and disgusting that in this country, There are so many people, not the majority, but so many people that support this man, spreading lies about good, decent people. The overwhelming majority of legal Haitian immigrants in this country are good people. I happen to know some of them who are appalled by what is going on in Springfield, Ohio. And make no mistake about it, the real problem they have in Springfield, Ohio is not the fact that there are so many legal Haitian immigrants there. It's the fact that they have bomb threats and supermarkets and churches are having to close down because of the threats they are receiving, not because of Haitian immigrants, because of the lives being put forth by the far right, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and this racist, bigot, clown, despicable excuse for a human being, Clay Higgins, who thinks this is funny. As I said, I am proud of Democrat Congressman Stephen Horsford, who is from my district. I voted for him, and I will vote for him again. So Stephen Horsford had some interaction, if you want to call it, for lack thereof, a run-in with Clay Higgins. And this is Stephen Horsford explaining exactly what took place in that run-in yesterday.
Well, I was supporting my colleagues who were trying to compel him to understand how his words are affecting the lives of actual people today. People who contribute to our communities, who are entrepreneurs, who are nurses and doctors, people who don't deserve to be targeted. Let's just start with that. They didn't do anything wrong. And I asked him specifically to remove his post. And he's like, I'm going to pray about it. What do you need to pray about? Just do what is right and stop this hateful rhetoric that is causing people to feel targeted. He told me no. And that is when I said, if you refuse, I will take this to the floor. We will move for a resolution to censure you. And that is exactly what we did. And sadly, the Republican leadership were more focused about silencing me than holding him accountable.
What a shocker, right? The Republicans want to silence a black man who's trying to do the right thing. But the middle-aged, crusty white guy who happens to be a huge MAGA supporter, who is a bigot, a racist, he's the thug, they'll defend him, right? They'll defend him. Listen, make no mistake about it. Many far-right MAGA Republicans feel the same way that Higgins feels. They're bigoted in nature. But Higgins is just so stupid that he actually showed it publicly. I'm sure in private they're giving him high fives. But publicly, a lot of the Republicans are saying, yeah, I'm glad he took it down. It was inappropriate. Many of them feel the same way that Higgins feels. Make America great again means make America white again. We all know that. Most of us, at least. Just go to one of Donald Trump's rallies and you'll feel it. It is a Klan cult. And this guy Higgins should be fired. Can you imagine you're working at an office, you're working at a business, whatever the case may be, and one of your colleagues takes to social media and takes an entire group of people, in this case, legal Haitian immigrants. He calls them all thugs. He calls them all gang members. He tells them all to get out of the country by January 20th. If Donald Trump wins, he would be put back in office at that time. Most people would be fired for bigotry, racism, you name it. Most people would lose their job, but not in the Republican Party. If you make these types of claims, unsubstantiated claims, racism, and lies, sometimes you're rewarded if you're in the Republican Party. Now, he started off his statement by saying Haitians are wild, they're eating pets. That is not true. That is not happening in Springfield, Ohio, and that was, again, the lie that was put forth by J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. Then he uses the term voodoo. I don't even think he knows what that means. He says nastiest country in the Western Hemisphere. He calls it a cult, by the way. Meanwhile, there are people that buy Donald Trump condoms. They buy Donald Trump Bibles. They buy patches of the suit that Donald Trump was wearing when he was indicted. And yet he has the gall to say that those that are Haitians are in a cult. No, he's in a cult. He calls them slapstick gangsters. Think about the wonderful children and the wonderful families that come to this country legally in Springfield, Ohio, that are just trying to make a better life for themselves. He calls them slapstick gangsters. Damned if they don't feel all sophisticated now, filing charges against our president and VP. As if that's a cheap shot, he's trying to say, for attacking the Haitian immigrants who have hired attorneys to file charges because they are now victims of hate crimes. One person in that city, in that small town, had a gun pointed at them because he is of Haitian descent. There are others that have received threats, kids in schools that have to leave their schools because of bomb threats, all because of this hateful rhetoric put forth. They have the right to file charges. And yet somehow Higgins is attacking them for doing so, attacking them and sarcastically calling them sophisticated. Then he starts calling all them thugs. We've heard this word before. They like to call brown people thugs. I have a question. Why are they not going after European people that are white for coming into this country legally? Why is it always brown people that they attack? I'm just asking that question. Why is it that the MAGA Republicans want to attack Haitians? Why are they attacking the brown people? A lot of people come into this country from all over the world that some of them happen to be white. Why don't they attack those people? Why is it always the brown people that they seem to attack? I'll let you answer that question for yourselves. I think we all know the answer to that one. It is disgusting. It is despicable. I am appalled by these statements. And for anybody that defends this guy's statements, boy, why don't you call into this show and tell me? Tell me why you would defend these statements. I want to know your thoughts. The base of the Republican Party in 2024 is bigoted in nature, period. But somehow they hide behind their religion like they always do with their bigotry. And Mike Johnson says, well, all is good in the world because he went in the back of the room and he started praying. Praying for what? Stephen Horsford is right. What do you need to pray for, you dumbbell, you dumbass? Take the tweet down. Apologize. He only took it down because he had to. He hasn't apologized, and then he's doubling down on it, saying he's not sorry for anything. Representation of the Republican Party today, particularly MAGA Republicans that are racist in nature. Make no mistake about it. The Make America Great Again slogan might as well say Make America White Again. And this guy is a perfect example of what I'm talking about every day. I say it every day on this show. Every single day I say when they show their bigotry and their hatred, they're cowards and they hide behind their religion. They did it again yesterday. They knew, oh my God, I can't believe he said that out loud. Oh boy. Well, let's just say he prayed. Let's say he went in the back of the room and prayed to God for forgiveness. It's a load of crap. It's a lie. And that's what these right-wing clowns do. They hide behind their religion. They preach their Christianity. And that's why I call him Cheeto Jesus, because they look at him like he's the next Messiah. They are despicable. They are disgusting. And I have had it. These are the same people that go after the LGBT community every day. These are the same people that go after transgenders every day. If you bring up January 6th, they'll immediately pivot and bring up Black Lives Matter. These same Republican pundits on social media going after black people every day. Anytime a black person commits a crime, they either show it on Fox News or Newsmax, or you see these middle-aged white Republicans tweeting it out. But you see, when a bunch of white people and Klansmen go in and storm the Capitol on January 6th, somehow they're heroes, they're patriots. Ladies and gentlemen, they're telling us who they are. Let's believe them. Clay Higgins is telling us who he is. Let's believe him. Donald Trump for years has told us who he is. Let's believe him. Let's believe those MAGA Republicans out there. Believe them when they tweet out stuff like this. Now, Higgins was dumb enough to actually do it publicly. Imagine what the kind of stuff that a guy like a Higgins says privately. I want to take some phone calls on this. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. If you defend his statements, I want to hear from you. If you don't, I want to hear from you. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to join the conversation. All right, let's go to Jack. Jack is starting the show. Hey, Jack, what's going on, man? Jack, are you there?
Talking about this topic. It's the exact topic that I wanted to call you about.
Sure.
Another case of the cult of bigots, that's maggot. Clay Higgins, he expresses his disgusting take on these legal immigrants of Springfield in like a mask off, hood off moment, because it's not because I heard you say he's stupid. He is stupid, but he's empowered by Donald Trump. That's why he feels comfortable to say it. And he might not have realized it when he was texting, and he don't realize it now because he didn't come out and apologize. He did what they always do. Right. After a mass shooting or whatever, or after a gay comment, I'm going to pray on it. After mass shootings, they're going to pray. First, we have to pray. We have to think about the families. It's funny that second never comes. First is always we're going to pray on it,
Right.
and second never comes.
Right.
This is a guy who is a disgraced police officer that was forced to resign after beating someone who was beating a prisoner that was handcuffed. And then he finds a welcome into the Republican Party with because they don't disregard it. It's like a prerequisite almost for them.
It is. And did you hear Steve Scalise? And there are actually Republicans out there that are defending his statements. Social media pundits on the far right that are saying, well, what did he say that was wrong? Here's a guy who took an entire group of people, legal Haitian immigrants, an entire group of people, calling them thugs and gangsters, telling them same language that Donald Trump uses, get them the hell out. And yet there are Republicans out there that are defending these statements. Now, some Republicans have come forward and have said this is wrong, but the majority of Republicans in the House yesterday, they were defending his statements. Even Mike Johnson. Well, you know what? He went back and he prayed. So I guess that makes everything okay. It's disgusting, these people.
I knew that I didn't know that that's what they were going to do, but out of MAGA Mike Johnson, I knew that just rolled off his tongue like that. What else do you want him to do?
They will apologize. You are so right, Jack. How about apologize? I agree. Thank you for the call. And yet these are the same people that will nonstop go after drag queens. These are the same people that will nonstop burn books and ban books. These are the same people that think that transgenders are ruining our society. But yet when it comes to one of their own Klansmen who goes on social media attacking an entire group of people, well, you know what? He prayed to God. Everything's all good. These people are so disgusting. They're such hypocrites. And I, quite frankly, am tired of it. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Mark. Mark is next up on PTL. What's up, Mark?
These MAGA clowns, man, they make me angry and angrier every single day. If one says something screwed up, they all stand behind them like ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But I did hear, Brian, Alex Wagner yesterday night on MSNBC.
Yeah.
Did you see what she did to Kamala Harris?
I did not.
She really hurt her. She asked a question to Kamala. It was a sit-down interview, and she stated, "How are you going to raise taxes on the rich and give these tax cuts for $25,000 for first-time home buyers, $6,000 credit? How are you going to do this? You're going to need to win the House and the Senate, and that's all. The odds are you're going to lose one of them, and there's no way you are going to pass that." And then she said, Kamala came back. Go ahead.
Well, listen, we can dissect the interview and what Wagner did or didn't do well. Let me just, because I don't want to get into the weeds there because I want to stay on topic, but I will say this. I'm glad that she did the interview. I'm glad she's doing more interviews. She also did a podcast the other day. People can take it for what it's worth, but I think the more interviews Harris does, the better chance she'll have to win in November, my friend. What if you're just joining us? We're talking about this despicable Republican in office, sadly, Clay Higgins, who has put out a tweet, since been deleted, even though he's doubled down on it, attacking this entire group of people, calling them slapstick gangsters, a cult. Isn't that interesting? A MAGA Republican calling somebody else a cult, telling them to get out of the country before January 20th. Just despicable. And it's amazing that there are still, not surprisingly, Republicans out there that are defending his comments. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Darren. Darren is next on PTL. Hello, Darren.
Hey, Brian. I just found your show, and I really enjoy your commentary.
Oh, thank you.
I just kind of wanted to answer your question about at least why I feel that the right is, and MAGA is so full of hate. I never used to follow politics before, but when Trump started getting his feet in politics, I listen to C-SPAN religiously every morning, and I Washington Journal call in now and then. If you can bear it, I've never heard a group of sorely educated people in my life.
Neither have I. I agree. Neither have I. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Some of these MAGA supporters, particularly those that go to the rallies and chant, send them back, are some of the dumbest people that America has to offer. I really feel that way.
Yeah, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and the hosts do too. And they'll call in and say, oh, they're taking more Democrat calls than Republican calls. They'll say the host is biased when they fact check. And I think, like with Higgins, the most primal thing to understand is hate. And they don't understand really what's going on in the world, but they understand how to hate someone.
Well, just listen to Donald Trump. Listen to what he said on a stage the other day. First of all, on the debate stage, he's spreading the lie about these legal Haitian immigrants stealing your pets and eating them. And then just the other day in a rally, I played the audio yesterday, he's saying, get them the hell out. That's the language he uses. And then the crowd chanting, send them back. These are just despicable people. And as much as I despise and I hate Donald Trump, I hate some of his supporters even more. They're such dopes. The people that chant, send them back. They're just awful people.
They are. And what 70-year-old man, if your grandpa got up in the middle of dinner and said, I hate Taylor Swift, you'd say, Grandpa, you need to go to bed now. And they're going to elect somebody like that. Hey, I know you're going to take other calls. And Brian, I'm glad I found your show. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I hate Taylor Swift, he says. Hey, I hate Kid Rock. I hate Ted Nugent. And any of the other trailer trash musicians that want to support Donald Trump. I hate them. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. I believe next we're going to be going to Paul. Hi, Paul. Thanks for calling into PTL. Paul, what's on your mind today, my man?
Oh, I cannot believe. I mean, you should just call them the Confederacy. The blatant racism is absolutely astounding. The silence. It's just disgusting as an American how people are still supporting this. I like to be more positive on stuff, but they're really stupid. Look, Brian, this is a guy that claims to be a billionaire that inherited $400 million, that never gave him a tax plan, that added $8.2 million to the debt, that bankrupted a damn casino. How do you do that? But he needs to sell Bibles. He's selling coins, NFT cards, and today he's releasing a $100,000 Trump gold watch.
Yeah, I saw that.
All of these idiots are like, I can't believe the price of gas while they're putting tattoos on their bodies, his face on their boat, buying flags, MAGA hats, and $100,000 watches, and they're bitching about the price of gas.
So, Paul, I don't know if you follow me on social media, but the Trump rally that I went to a few weeks ago, I go up to a guy who is decked out in all the MAGA gear, right? And he's got this truck, and it's got Trump stuff all over it, right? And he's complaining about the economy, right? And we're having a conversation about the economy, and then I say, hey, how much did you pay to Trump out your truck? And he goes, a little over $4,500. And I said, so tell me again about the economy. I mean, these people are so stupid. You're right. They buy their $70 Bibles, and they're very unintelligent, ill-informed, uneducated people. And that is Donald Trump's base. Make no mistake about it.
Can I ask you one question? And maybe I just don't know why, that horrific, the death penalty the other day about that guy that everybody, even the prosecutors are saying like he doesn't deserve it because we think he might be innocent.
Yeah.
Why is it that the Supreme Court heard Donald Trump's immunity case that he can commit felonies and say he's immune, but a guy that's on death row that the prosecutor is saying that they don't want him to be on death row, they won't even hear the case? Why is that?
I think there's a couple reasons for that. First of all, look at who Donald Trump appointed onto the Supreme Court, despicable human beings that I believe are bigoted in nature, and they want to tell women what to do with their bodies. Number two, what was the color of the individual? We know one of the individuals is orange-white. The other individual, the color of their skin was black. So I think that might have something else to do with it. Listen, I'll be honest with you, though. I am for the death penalty, but if there are any issues in a case or any chance that person could be innocent, then you can't do what they did. But when it comes to Donald Trump, immunity. It doesn't matter what Donald Trump does. These are some of the conservative Supreme Court justices who helped overturn Roe versus Wade. They have no moral compass, I would say, Paul, and it's despicable.
Ugh. It is. All right, man. I'm gonna keep it. It's so disgusting. The race. You should just call them a confederacy because that's really what they want. They want.
Yep.
I feel like some of these people would want slaves again. I really believe that.
I agree. I
Truly.
think if Clay Higgins was allowed to, and thank you for the call, Paul. Good to hear from you. If Clay Higgins was allowed to, he would be draped in his Confederate flag, walking into the House chambers with a Klan outfit and a couple AR-15s. If it was allowed, a guy like a Clay Higgins would do that. He is a despicable, racist piece of garbage. And again, some of the most dangerous and despicable people that America has to offer. Clay Higgins is a disgrace, but Republicans will still stand by him like they're standing by Mark Robinson. 702-221-7283, self-proclaimed black Nazi. Let's go to Jack. Jack is next up on PTL. Hey, Jack, what's going on, man?
Hey, Brian. Just real quick, want to say your shows fill my afternoons with such glee, man. We are same energy when you smack these guys down. But I wanted to point out something, too, with these Trump supporters, because I listen to a lot of political commentators right now, and when they are asked, why are you voting for Trump, it's like their program. They say the same thing. Well, when that Trump was in office, things were much easier for me. I was making money and the economy was good, not knowing that Trump inherited Obama's economy and then it went to crap. I don't want to curse on your radio
Well, you're
show.
right. You're right. It did.
Yeah. And they're not understanding that. And they think that everything, even though it was Trump's doing, is just Biden's fault. Like he started
you know what,
out good. That's his fault.
And Jack, what you're referring to, because we had Don Lemon on the show yesterday, and I was talking to Don a little bit this morning. And, Lemon goes to Atlantic City on the boardwalk, and he's interviewing a bunch of people and having these types of conversations like what we're having. And he goes up to these people and asks them about the economy. And they say, well, everything was so great under Donald Trump and it's so terrible under Biden. And then Don Lemon gives them the actual facts that the economy is doing far better now than it was when Donald Trump left office. And they call him a liar, and they say he doesn't know what he's talking about. They're so ill-informed and uneducated, and they're so stupid, they don't even understand that when you compare the United States of America today to all the other G7 countries that we compare our economies to, we're number one when it comes to inflation, when it comes to job growth, when it comes to the NASDAQ, when across the board, manufacturing. And instead of giving credit where credit is due to Joe Biden and his administration, they say things were better under Trump. When Trump left office, we were all locked up in our rooms during COVID. We were losing 3,000 to 5,000 people a day. Almost nobody was working, and the economy was tanking. But they don't want to put any responsibility on Donald Trump for that, right? I mean, again, I go back to what I always say. These are some of the dumbest people that America has to offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No food on the shelves to add to that, too.
Right. Exactly. And then when we don't have baby formula on the shelves, what does Joe Biden do? He acts as a president should. He puts together a plan and a bill to put more baby formula on the shelves. And what do Republicans do? Vote against it. So, what can I say, my friend? That's what they do. They always vote against the best interests of the American people. And then when things don't work out, they want to blame Joe Biden. And then when things do work out, they want to say that they voted on a bill or praise a bill that they voted against. It's par for the course, my friend. And it's good to hear from you, Jack. Thank you so much for the call. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Herb. Herb is next up on PTL. Hello, Herb.
Brian, with Don Lemon and you don't understand, it doesn't make any difference what the statistics say. It can be all the numbers can coincide with the Biden administration. If I'm going to the store and I know I'm spending $20, $30, $40 more a week than I was a year or two ago on groceries, it doesn't make any difference what the statistics say.
Herb. Okay, Herb, let me respond to that. Okay, Herb, let me respond to that. First of all, that's a very ignorant way of thinking, and I will explain to you why. First of all, there's cause and effect. If you want to be on this phone call with me now and blame Joe Biden for inflation throughout the world, that makes you an ignoramus. That's number one. Number two, when we talk about the economy, and when I say we, I mean brilliant economists, not you, not me, talk about the economy, they compare this country to the G7 countries across the world. Now, I know you don't want to talk about facts, which are statistics. I do on this show. It's not about how people feel, and it's not just about who the president was. It's about where the numbers are, why they are there, and what have we done to recover from them. And I repeat to you once again, we are ranked number one compared to all the G7 countries across the world when it comes to inflation. Inflation was up and is still up across the world. It has been consistently going down since Joe Biden took office, since 2021, I believe, actually. So for you to sit here and say, my gas is more, look at inflation, that's all Joe Biden's fault. You can have that opinion if you want, sir, but you sound really dumb when you make a statement like that, with all due respect.
Okay, well, Brian, it's the same way with crime. If you think crime is down...
No. I'm going to let you continue, but you're not going to get away with that. I don't think crime is down. Violent crime is down over 30% since Trump left office across the country. How do we know that? Yes, I'm going to say it, Herb. Actual stats and numbers from the FBI. So let me correct you. It's not what I think, sir. It's what you think, because you're the one who doesn't want to talk about stats, and you're the one that doesn't want to talk about facts. You just want to walk to the grocery store and you look at a price and you just want to blame Joe Biden for your hangnail, sir. No. It's not. No, it's not what I think. Okay. What I think is that Kamala Harris is going to win in November. That's what I think. It's called an opinion. It's not an opinion when I say violent crime is down, sir. Get it through your head. It's a fact.
Can I talk, Brian?
You can talk when you say something that's factually accurate. It's not what I think, guy.
You know what, Brian? I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I can't wait. Tell me what you think.
First of all, you need people like us calling in. Us conservatives to call into your program.
Okay, let's talk about that. I welcome conservatives to call into the show. I don't need you, and the country doesn't need you, okay? You're welcome to call into the show, and I'm welcome to hear a different point of view. But my radio show is going to be just fine. Just because I have one less MAGA clown that's calling in won't hurt my bottom line, sir. Hey, guess what? That's what I think. That's what I think. Crime is down throughout the country. Over 30%. That's not what I think. That's a fact. Donald Trump did not win the 2020 election. Joe Biden did. That's not what I think. That's a fact. Joe Biden didn't cause the inflation all across the world. We had a war going on in the Ukraine. We had something called COVID, which we were trying to get out of. Inflation was up all over the world, and we are number one inflation compared to all the other G7 countries. Hey, Herb, that's not what I think. That is called a fact, my friend, okay? That is called a fact. And it won't kill me, Herb, if you never call. No. You can ask me something else. But guess what? It won't kill me if you never call back into the show, and I won't miss you, Herb, okay? So don't you give me that nonsense, all right? I'll let you finish. Okay, good. I'm glad we agree. Now I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Let me just say one more thing. You say crime is down.
No. I'm gonna again. You keep phrasing it the wrong way.
Brian,
you keep phrasing it the wrong way. I'm gonna correct you again, MAGA dope. I'm gonna correct you again. It's not what. Why are you so ignorant? You don't understand what I'm saying. It's not what I am saying. It's not what I think. I'm speaking slowly so even a special MAGA like yourself could understand. Violent crime is down throughout the country over 30%. And the cities are all reporting. A new report came out the other day, so you can't use that MAGA excuse anymore. It's not what I am saying, Herb. Now, if you want to rephrase your question and be factually accurate, then we can have a conversation. Herb, it's not what I think. First of all, crime is down. Violent crime is down throughout the country. Okay, Herb? So go ahead and rephrase your stupid question. Go ahead.
I'm not going to bother you no more because you know what? Every time somebody calls me.
Thank you. Don't bother me anymore. Have a nice day, Herb. We could leave the conversation right there. Hey, Herb, I think I'll be just fine if you don't call into this show anymore. Hey, Herb, I think you're a moron. Hey, Herb, I think you have a very low IQ. Hey, Herb, I think if there were less people like you in America, the country would be doing a hell of a lot better. You spread misinformation and lies, and you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Herb. I think my show will be just fine without one less MAGA clown. Have a nice day. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to PJ. PJ's next on Pushing Limits. What's up, PJ?
Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Herb got me a little fired up there, but boy, PJ, I hope my show will be okay if Herb never calls back. I don't know how I can go on.
Oh, of course. Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have to take blood pressure medication before he comes on.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to give that guy a free pass when he calls in and he says, Brian, you think that crime is down. No, it's not what I think. I mean, it's like, how do you even have a conversation with these people? I don't know, PJ. I don't know.
I have no idea either. With the whole Higgins thing, I basically think it's starting from history. It's since slavery. It's all about power and white privilege.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. PJ, a perfect example of that is, the last 27 high-profile positions that Donald Trump has put in certain positions are all white people. He had one of the whitest administrations in the history of this country. The bottom line is when you go to Mar-a-Lago, it's not diversity. That's what Donald Trump means when he says, make America great again. Just go to Mar-a-Lago. They're middle-aged white elitists, crusty white elitists that hang out at Mar-a-Lago. Well, except for Laura Loomer, because she can't go there anymore. She's been banned. But you're right. It's white elitism is the word that I would use.
Yeah, and the Haitians. I mean, they're human beings who are helping these people. When people are not helping, they're wrong. If they are helping, they're also wrong.
Right. Yeah, it's incredible that we live in a society today where crowds at Trump rallies, as I call them, clan cult rallies, will chant out, "Send them back." What type of and by the way, we're talking about legal Haitian immigrants. That's what's even more incredible about this. If people were undocumented, I would still have a problem with that chant. But we're talking about those who are legal in this country, right? And to see these MAGA Republicans on CNN or elsewhere curl up into a pretzel trying to make excuses for J.D. Vance as if it's okay to spread a lie about a group of people to get a conversation started about immigration is probably the dumbest excuse I've ever heard. And now they'll say, well, eventually I'm just waiting for J.D. Vance to say, I went in the back of my house and I prayed, so everything's okay now. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Right. Thoughts and prayers don't do anything. It's action.
Yeah, that's all they want to talk about is God, right, PJ? There is no separation between church and state with these idiots. And you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's disgusting. All right, so here's what I want to do. I know we have a lot of people on hold. I promise you I'm going to get to all of your phone calls. And we have a very special guest coming in studio when we come back. And we'll take your calls with her. She's going to be co-hosting with me hour number 2. Her name is Anna Braga. She is a social media influencer, and, listen, she's been on the front of pretty much every magazine possible. But she's more than just beauty. She's very intelligent. She used to be a staunch Donald Trump MAGA supporter. She was in the cult. But now she's flipped to the other side, right? And she is a Kamala Harris supporter. She's going to tell us why. We're going to take your phone calls. And I know we have a lot of people on hold, so we'll get to those phone calls when we come back. I want to remind you guys before we take a quick break, I get emails from people every day. How can we help you? How can we support the show? We love what you do. I get calls every day from people. Literally every day I get calls from people that tell me, I just started listening to your show. I love it. I just subscribed to your YouTube page at PTL Radio Show. Well, here's what I would ask. We are an independently owned radio show. It costs money to put the show together every day. What can you do to help us, to keep the lights on, so to speak? Check my new website out. We're very proud of it. pushingthelimits.live. Again, that website is pushingthelimits.live. Get to sign up for the free newsletter. We sell merchandise on there, affordable prices, shirts, hats, beanies. My favorite shirt is Don't Be a Right-Wing Buffoon. You can find that one. If you don't want to buy merchandise, that's fine. There's also a donate button right on the front page. Right there, when you go to the page, you'll see donate. It takes 2 minutes of your time. Doesn't matter what it is. $5, $10, $20 a month, whatever you can afford, we greatly appreciate it. So check it out. pushingthelimits.live. Again, that website, pushingthelimits.live, and we appreciate your support. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 90 seconds with the very beautiful Anna Braga up next on Pushing the Limits.
Hey, everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premium Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone.
On unity and progress. I believe in putting people over politics and finding practical solutions that benefit us all. Never stop believing in America, no matter our troubles and turmoil. We can and we will do better. We must be brave. Stop voting for those politicians who care about their career and gaining power but don't improve our lives. I believe in America and I believe in you. You need a candidate who believes in policy over party because you deserve better. In Nevada, every voice matters. I humbly ask for your vote this coming election, November 5th. To learn how we can create a better America, please visit queensfornevada.com. Paid for by Ron Quince for Congress.
Discover the art of flawless beauty at Beauty by Thread in Las Vegas. Specializing in eyebrow threading, the skilled professionals will give you the perfect arch every time. Whether it's your brows, upper lip, neck, or full face, Beauty by Thread has you covered. Located in the heart of Las Vegas at 7415 South Durango, Unit 101. Hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. by appointment only. So book your appointment today with Helen by calling or texting her at 714-470-1369. And don't forget to mention KSHP.
All right, welcome back. It is Pushing the Limits on a Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. Want to remind all of you to check out the official gaming bar of the PTL radio show, which is Jackson's Bar and Grill, located at Flamingo and Jones. They have some pretty cool promotions there as well, including every Sunday, if you earn 350 points on any machine, you're going to get $50 in free slot play. So please check them out. Great food, great atmosphere. Jackson's Bar and Grill, located at Flamingo and Jones. So, you know, we have all sorts of different guests on this show, to be honest with you. I mean, I have Trump surrogates on the show. I have Kamala Harris surrogates on the show. We plan on having one on the show tomorrow. We had Don Lemon on the show yesterday. I've had Vivek Ramaswamy. We got all sorts of different people on. So the lovely lady we have in studio right now, her name is Anna Braga. She is an international model. She's been published in Vogue, Cosmo, Playboy, and of course she's on OnlyFans. But her story is extremely interesting because she used to be in the MAGA cult. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. She used to be a big Donald Trump MAGA supporter, and she has seen the light. And we are going to talk a little bit about that. And Anna Braga joins us right now in studio. Anna, it is good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am
Thank you
doing
for
great.
having me.
Of course, it's good to see you in studio. So do I have that right? I mean, for years, ever since Donald Trump first took office, you were a staunch Donald Trump supporter, right?
Yes, I was.
Why?
Yeah. Well, being a Republican, I'm not a Republican anymore, but and wanting small government. So I can say I've always been more leaning towards like social liberal.
Yeah.
But fiscally conservative. So you're in a Republican Party, you're going to support the Republican candidate. So I felt like that was a given. And not growing up in America, I really didn't know much about Donald Trump, although, you know, the Americans that grew up here, I don't know why they're still in MAGA and why they know about it. But it's complicated. And also, it's very easy for us immigrants to be duped when he said, oh, Mexico's not sending their best, you know, they're this and that. But then at the same time, you kind of, right now, make excuses, right? You make excuses for yourself as far as like, oh, he wasn't being racist. There are dangerous people in Brazil, for instance. You know, there are dangerous people. And what if they come here? I left Brazil. It's very dangerous. So I'm like, I don't want them to come here, you know? So it's very easy for us immigrants to fall into that trap, you know, and believe in, and to be scared. It's very easy to scare us. We're very gullible. We came to America and we start believing everything people say. So
even somebody like Donald Trump.
Even someone like Donald Trump, because you're like, okay, this is the Republican candidate.
Right.
And I'm going to support him. And he's trying to warn us that there's danger coming through the border.
What goes through your mind when you hear Donald Trump and his base chant out, send them back? In this case, talking about legal immigrants, Haitian immigrants. As someone who is an immigrant yourself, you've made something of yourself. You're a successful person in this country. What do you make of those chants?
I think it's horrible, and I get extremely offended. Also, a lot of people in MAGA, because I left MAGA, and obviously I'm voting for Kamala, they said, oh, you're going to be deported. I'm like, I'm an American citizen.
Who tells you that? MAGA supporters?
Yeah. They said,
Shocker.
Trump is going to send you back.
Sounds like Clay Higgins told you that. Yeah.
Right. Your citizenship will be up for reevaluation, because that's what we're demanding. And as, you know, Americans born here, that's what we want, for you to be sent back. And I'm like, but I went through the process, you know, I'm a legal citizen. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's going to send you back. You're not supporting him. You're a sellout. You're a fraud. That's what they call me. So when I hear Trump, and look at these top politicians, even MTG, you know, these sitting people in Congress,
despicable.
Senators,
Yeah.
it's disgusting. I'm extremely offended, and I can see now what you guys were trying to warn us.
This country was founded on immigrants. I think what makes America great is not making America white, which is what Donald Trump seems to want to perpetuate, in my opinion. What makes America great is we have people from all over the world that come here, right? This country was founded on immigrants, and good, hardworking people that want to come to this country, that want a better life for themselves, maybe a better life for their families, and so on. And you have these, you know, innocent, legal Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, and these attacks just continue. And you have Republicans in office that are telling them to send them back, get them the hell out. I am so offended by hearing that, and I'm embarrassed that there are some people that are white Americans that look like me, that are making these kinds of statements. It doesn't represent everybody in this country. It represents a small minority. But this isn't the country that I want to live in.
It's an attack on the Black community as well, because Haitians are Black. So, you know, if people are walking on the street, you don't know where they're from. You know, you're from Haiti, you're from Brazil, you know, you're from Africa. You don't know. You were born here.
Right.
I mean, it's disgusting.
And
it's scary too, because
Sure.
remember we talked about this, the denaturalization. They want to push that. You know, if you they call us communists
Yeah.
because we support communists. So if we're communists, they're gonna take my citizenship away and send
Absolutely.
me back to Brazil. I mean, it's
Yeah.
absurd.
Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of dumb people in our society. Some of those dumb people are people that I've had to work with in the radio industry. Sadly, some, and they're not you, Numchuck. You're great. I'm not talking about you. But there are some dumb people that have no platform anymore. They're not on the air anywhere anymore, and they're desperate to be relevant. And some of those people will make a claim like, oh, well, Anna did this for publicity. Now, obviously, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're very ignorant people. But I want you directly to respond to that. If some MAGA supporter with a 20 IQ, and I'm just, in general terms.
You're being generous.
Yeah, I'm being generous and I'm being general. If some MAGA clown with an IQ of 20 with no job, and say, hypothetically speaking, he spent all of his father's money, doesn't have a job of his own, would make a claim like that, what would you say?
Well, I hear that all the time. She's a fraud. She's doing this for, you mentioned OnlyFans. She's doing this just to get subscribers. Look, when I was in MAGA, I lost a lot of gigs. I used to get published a lot, and I started like less and less.
So you lost gigs.
I lost gigs for being in MAGA. So now they're saying that I am a fraud because I'm getting paid by the Democrats. Kamala's paying me. Liberals are paying me. That's why I'm supporting Kamala. And that is not true. There's no money. My page on X, Twitter, I can't earn any ad revenue because it's flagged. So
why is it flagged?
I don't know.
That's very
It's
bizarre.
flagged. Yeah, says you can't earn ad revenue. So I'm there for free to make amends because I voted for Trump. I got people to vote for Trump, and I'm doing this for my country. This is very serious. I'm doing this for free. I'm not getting paid by anyone. Will they believe it? That's their problem.
So to a MAGA dope that would, and again, I'm not surprised at people that are saying this because again, they're not very intelligent people, but to a MAGA dope that would say, oh, well, Anna did this for the publicity. You're making the case it's the opposite. You've lost money. You've lost revenue. But again, that won't register with some of these people because they're just not smart enough. It's not even worth
Never.
Yeah, not even worth the conversation.
I just block them now and move on because they're going to believe what they believe, but it's always the projection with them. Every accusation is a confession. Look at that guy, Tim Pool.
Oh, the worst.
Benny. They
Benny
get
Johnson, yeah.
$100K a week.
Yeah, it's absurd.
I get nothing.
Spreading Russian propaganda, hurting the country, by the way. And I
yeah.
hope the FBI does their due diligence. I'm sure they will, and prosecute them.
Putting us in danger.
Absolutely. And it's I'm glad you mentioned that. It's horrible. Well, let me just say this. I'm glad there are people like you out there that have the courage to come forward and be on the right side of history, regardless of financial gain or not. You're doing the right thing, and I admire you for that.
Thank you.
And you're also very up to date on the issues and stuff. We've had private conversations. You know what's going on in the world. You know what's going on in this country. You understand. You're very up, and you understand the threat to democracy and what Donald Trump represents. And I appreciate that about you. Not only that, but having the courage to admit, hey, you know what? I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was duped. A lot of MAGA supporters are duped, but they don't have the courage to do what you have done and to come forward and admit it.
Oh, they're petrified. They're scared because MAGA, they're very dangerous people, even if they will act on it or not, but they make a lot of threats.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they're so scared. People deactivate. They make people deactivate. They tell me if you don't stop and deactivate, we're going to come for you. We're going to come to your house. I'm like, pull up.
Yeah,
I'll talk.
I'm sorry you have to go through that. I really am.
But that's what they want to silence me and others. They want to intimidate you.
Do you know who these people are? They're the same people that dress up in their camouflage, who never served this country, who carry their AR-15s thinking they're tough. They're the ones who storm the Capitol, screaming, "Hang Mike Pence."
Yeah.
And then they cry when they have to face a judge and go to jail. And then Donald Trump calls these idiots. He praises them and calls them patriots and hostages. These are the same kinds of people.
Yeah, they want to destroy your character. They want to dox you. They want to hurt your family. It's like a cyber terrorism thing,
Sure.
to think, oh, they're going to come here. They're going to come after me. They're going to come after my family.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, and I'm sorry you've had to go through that, but history
I
will...
still do. They come for me all the time. I block them. They create new pages. And
they're obsessed with you.
They're obsessed with me.
I have people that are obsessed with me as well. You wouldn't believe some of the profiles that are up there, and I just ignore it because they're not worth 5 seconds of my time.
Oh no,
You know,
they want attention.
Right, of
because
course.
they are nobodies.
They have no platform. You're so right about that.
No platform.
So right. You have a large following. They have no platform. Usually these are people with like 80 followers that don't even put their real picture up on their profile. They're all a bunch of trolls, MAGA trolls that watch their Newsmax and Fox News every night, and they're invisible.
Some have bigger pages though. You know, that
Some
hate
have some
me.
followers.
They hate me, but then you go on other platforms that they got nothing, and there's still nobody. No one knows them.
Nobody.
They never been published. They never
Yeah.
been on TV. They never been on radio. They never been interviewed.
As I say to a lot of these people, Anna, my last bathroom visit means more to me than any of these people's opinions. That's for sure. What do you say we take some phone calls?
Yeah.
Put on those headphones and let's give our listeners an opportunity to talk with us at 702-221-7283. Numchuck, who are we going to first here? What do you think? I'll let you decide. Let's go to Mike. Mike is first up on PTL. Hi, Mike. You're on with Anna Braga. Go right ahead.
Hello, Brian. Hello, Anna. Great show.
Thank you.
First time caller. Love the show, Brian. It's a godsend. I got tired of listening to right-wing radio for years, so I'm glad that I was able to find your show, and I've been a listener for about a month now.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. I'm glad you're new to the show, and thank you for those kind words. What's on your mind today? What do you think about what somebody like Anna has now had to go through because she's no longer a MAGA supporter?
Well, it's very heartbreaking to hear, her story, and it's a story that's repeated by many, many others that I know. It's really a shame that there's people that believe that immigrants are the worst people in the world when it's actually those MAGA idiots that are the worst people in the world.
Anna, you seem to have to deal with this. And by the way, thank you for the call, sir, and your kind words. You call back anytime. What are your thoughts on what this gentleman just said?
Well, that's a very nice call.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Most of my
Appreciate
callers
it.
are nice and
Yeah.
let me be clear. Most of my callers, Anna, are very informed. I'm very humbled by educated people, informed, logical. Once in a while, I get a caller that is a MAGA caller, and they're welcome to call in. But, I'm not going to let it slide. I'm not going to let them say whatever they want, But most of my callers, I'd like to think, are very educated people.
Yay.
But I had a guy named Herb who called in first hour, and he's threatening never to call into my show again. And boy, I don't know how I'll be able to sleep tonight.
Oh no.
I don't know how this show's going to
Call again. Herb.
Yeah. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Why don't we go to Chris? Chris is next up on PTL. Hi, Chris. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind today?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
I don't even know where to start. I agree with everything I've heard in the past half hour, 100%.
Come again? I didn't quite hear what you said there, Chris.
The dogs agree too.
My dog is barking.
Go ahead, Chris.
The mail carrier is dropping off the mail, and the dog is going berserk. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right, my friend. Go ahead. You can start over. Go right ahead.
I said, I don't even know where to start. I agree with everything I've been hearing 100%.
Well, that's very disappointing to hear. No, I'm just kidding, Chris. Go right ahead. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm in a great mood.
No, I agree. I appreciate that.
It's amazing. It's amazing to look through all your comments and listen to you and listen to your guests. And I'm just, half the time I'm laughing hysterically. And I just wish I could find more people like you around where I'm at.
Well, that means a lot. Where are you calling from, by the way?
I'm calling from the land of Lincoln.
Gotcha. Well, what do you make of this? Because Anna was telling me that she was, and Anna was telling me that she is so happy that the Democrats brought her in, right? You were telling me that.
Open arms.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, and that's the way I think many on the left are when a former MAGA supporter.
Well, that's how tribalism works.
Yeah,
that's how tribalism works. There's no balance. There's no compromise. There's no meeting in the middle of the aisle. It's just my tribe or your tribe.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad though that There are people that are willing to accept others. And hey, you know what? You supported MAGA, no problem. You're on the right side of history now. And that's what I try to tell people. Don't attack them for at one point supporting MAGA. Praise them for being on the right side now. Because if you start attacking people, they're going to start to get upset, and then they're going to think, okay, maybe I shouldn't vote at all. Right, Anna?
Right, exactly. I mean, you can't win just with Democrats voting. You can't win with just that. You need everyone voting. You know, if you're not a violent person, I didn't go to J6. Even our friend Pam went, but she wasn't a violent person. If you're not a violent person, people will accept you. But guess what? The violent person, the mean people, they will never apologize.
No. They'll double down and they'll never admit that they were wrong, but we know that they always will be on the wrong side of history. We know that. Number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation is 702-221-7283. Don't be afraid of the microphone, Anna. I promise it won't bite you. 702-2, maybe some of my MAGA callers will. I don't know. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Roy. Roy is next up on PTL. What's up, Roy?
Hi, Brian. Hi, Anna. How are you guys today?
Good.
Good.
The first thing I'd like to say is that all these people who support Trump and people like Clay Higgins, these are the people we should start to consider deporting because they're the problem in this country, not legal immigrants.
Yeah, I agree.
Get them
It's
out.
absolutely disgraceful what they do.
Get them out. All these MAGA Klansmen, like the Higgins people of the world, get them out. Have
Vote them out.
Move
Vote
them to
out.
Gaza. Move them into a cave in Afghanistan, for all I care. Put them on a plane with brochures and get them the hell out.
Oh, my God.
I mean, just think about it. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Clay Higgins, Cruz, these are the morons we have in the House and in the Senate. And we can't, you need to get a Democratic majority in both. Not that everything the Democrats say or do is right, but today's Republican Party, led by Donald Trump, has turned to pure crap. Yeah. And today, there is no more, they all claim to be bipartisan, but they're all full of crap. All the Republicans vote Republican, the Democrats vote Democrat, and it's virtually impossible to get too much done. Occasionally, they get lucky and they agree on something.
Can we start hey Roy and Anna? Can we start a hashtag on X? Deport MAGA. Can we do that?
Oh my God!
Can we do that? Deport MAGA. I'm going to start that hashtag, and I mean, I do have a following. I don't have, Anna, I don't have the following you have, but I do have a decent following.
My following's not that much bigger than yours.
But Brian, you got to give me some credit for that.
I will. I will say Roy started it. Hashtag deport MAGA, Roy, and we'll see if it catches on, Roy. I appreciate the idea. See, I told you I have smart listeners, Anna. See, I told you that. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff is next up on PTL. Hi, Jeff. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Brian? Anna, hello. Anna, first of all, stay strong and don't lose faith in the rest of us. And as far as Clay Higgins and that ilk, America, love it or leave it. And shut the hell up. Now, Herb, the personification of the snowflake. 2 days in a row, Brian. First, he's offended for all Christians because he thinks Orange Jesus is as derogatory as the N-word.
Yeah, let me just repeat what you just said, just so our listeners and Anna. So this guy calls in yesterday, and I called Donald Trump Cheeto Jesus on occasion, and Herb was trying to say that calling somebody the N-word and he being an African American and calling Trump Cheeto Jesus is just as offensive. And I mean, I think it's
oh my God,
it's so absurd. You know what the thing is? Let me just talk about this real quick, Jeff, if that's okay.
Sure.
When I use the term Cheeto Jesus, I'm not picking on Christianity. In fact, I'm defending it. I am attacking the people who call themselves Christians that look up to Donald Trump like he's Jesus. And if anybody was intelligent enough, they would understand I'm not mocking Christianity. I'm defending Jesus Christ. And I'm defending Christians because you shouldn't be looking up to Donald Trump like a Jesus. Why is it that these people don't understand?
But you notice that MAGA has hijacked the Republican Party and the Christian religion.
Right.
They have hijacked everything. That's what they've done. Right. They worship, they don't worship Christ. Christ would never be for this. Right. They worship Trump.
Correct.
And you know what? If Trump said today, I've done more for Americans than Christ, they would be okay with that. They would say, yeah, he's right.
Some of them think that.
Yeah.
I swear to you, Anna, some of them think
Ugh.
they think that Donald Trump is the next Messiah. So when somebody calls in a MAGA supporter and they're offended when I say Cheeto Jesus, you know why they're offended? Because they're the ones that look up to Donald Trump like he's Jesus Christ. The N word is one of the worst words in our dictionary. I would say probably the worst, one of the worst things you could say to anybody, let alone someone who's African American. And for a dope to call into this show and try to compare the two and conflate the two is absurd. It's absurd.
But they think they're the white men are being attacked.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they think they're so like, oh my God, we suffer, we're white, and they want to mix our race, and I can't.
I mean, they don't even understand what the word white privilege means, or in this case, orange privilege. I don't know. But Jeff, go ahead. I'll give you the last word, my friend.
Brian, okay. But today, Herb is through maggot form, just complaining for the sake of complaining. So my advice to Herb, in support really of what you were saying, Brian, is the sooner, Herb, you pry your head out of your ass and call out the scores of people, your contemporaries, Herb, who are perverting Christianity, the better off you will be.
You forgot one thing. Make sure he throws away his Donald Trump knee pads too, Jeff. I appreciate the call, my friend. Thank you very much. 702-221-7283. I'll call him Cheeto Jesus as long as in fact, I'll call him that every day if it bothers people like her.
Yes.
Let's go to Loretta. Loretta is next up on PTL. Hi, Loretta.
Wow, it's me?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you first, Anna, for stepping out and being whom you are and coming into realization.
Thank you.
So I'm a biracial, thank you, my dear. So I am a biracial woman of Black heritage, and I am married to a white man, and we are both over 50, and I have stepchildren whom are all three white adults. And Brian, I just want to say to you that I am enamored by everything that you say, and you're so on point, and I am rooting for you. And just tell me how to do it. I am rooting for you to be press secretary for Commerce.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm not making a joke.
I really
because,
appreciate that, but a personal friend of mine, Anthony Scaramucci, I'd probably last less than him. I think he lasted 12 days, and Mooch comes on this show a lot because me and Mooch are alike in a lot of ways, even though he probably has about $100 million more than I do. But he's very honest, and I don't think I can put up with a Stephen Douchey, as I call him, these Fox News reporters. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I would treat them like I treat some of the MAGA callers on this show, and then I'd
that's
be fired.
what we need. She's right.
And that's what we need, because it's been so messed up, for the lack of a better word, for so long. And the gloves are off. Take the gloves off at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm going to tell you.
The way it is. Just tell it the way it is. And you're not fabricating anything.
No.
You're just calling a spade a spade.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
If you're a bigot, you're a bigot. If you're uneducated and stupid, you're stupid. If you're brainwashed, you're brainwashed. And if you're a liable rapist and 34-count felon, that's who you are, right? And I try to call them out, and they don't like it. They don't like it. They're it's interesting. They want to call liberals and Democrats snowflakes. They're the snowflakes.
They are.
They think transgenders, the world is falling.
Oh my God.
They want to ban books. Don't say it's okay to be gay because, oh my God,
they think I'm transgender.
You're far from that. Let me say that. And I'll say number two, they're transphobic, they're homophobic. And
I'm an ally of the LGBTQ transgender community.
Yeah.
So I don't care if they think I am, or I know I'm not, but that doesn't offend me.
Let me tell you something. Most of these people, particularly the men I'm talking about now, that the MAGA supporters are overweight, sitting there on your couch, eating your potato chips on government assistance, watching their Newsmax all day.
They drink a lot too.
Yeah, and right, exactly.
They have a lot.
They have the physique.
I know they do.
Oh, sure. They have the physique of Donald Trump, and they probably haven't seen their own genitalia in 30 years. I'm sorry to give you that image, Anna, but it's true. I talk to them all the time. They're overweight, disgusting human beings who no woman wants to be anywhere near them. Well, I mean, I can't really say that. Maybe, was it Donald Trump Jr.'s Kimberly Guilfoyle? Maybe she would. She's attracted to men like that, but I don't know.
She's attracted to the money, probably.
My dear, it's so great to, yes. My dear, it's so great to hear from you. Thank you so much for the phone call and your kind words. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Charles. Charles is next up on PTL. What's going on, Charles?
Oh, Brian, I'm a regular, man, but I felt the need to call in today even more so because, unfortunately, one of the politicians from my state showed his true colors, and I wanted to put that in perspective, if I may, on your show.
Sure.
So Clay Higgins comes from a very small town. It's a gerrymandered district, and like all the other crazies in Congress, they're pretty much insured to be reelected because their districts are gerrymandered. He's a known drunk in our state. Everybody knows that. He's beat his wives. He's pulled guns out on his wives. He's been kicked off of police forces. He has resigned from police forces. He's just a GOP bully, essentially, is what he is.
This guy...
You don't have to watch very many of his speeches to see that he's probably been drunk in Congress half the time.
He's a very ignorant man. He has hatred in his heart. And can you imagine that?
Trash.
Yes, trash. And this was a guy who at one point, as you mentioned, was in law enforcement. He had so much power. Why do we put people like this, bigoted and ignorant people, in any powerful position is beyond me. Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party.
Correct. And look, historically, everything that you've been talking about on your show goes back to the fact that all these biases, all this animus is racially motivated. All you have to do is go back to the Lee Atwater interview when the GOP or the Republican Party at that time decided to blame Democrats for the Civil Rights Act and the racism used to fly under the radar. I think what you saw was that once Obama got in the White House and once Trump started to run, it became much more overt, right? And then it became fashionable to be a racist, and a lot of these people say things to get attention.
You're absolutely right.
I just wanted to...
You're absolutely right, and good to hear from you, by the way. Great phone call, Charles. And Anna, I want to Anna. I keep pronouncing your name wrong. I apologize, Anna. When Donald Trump, for years, was saying that Barack Obama was not born in this country, the birther issue, it went on for years. As an immigrant yourself, I know that was a time where you weren't as involved in politics, but I would imagine that had to bother you a little bit, right?
Well, unfortunately, for a while, I was like, why is he saying that? And then why is other people saying that? Maybe it's true. And then my ex at the time said, that is ridiculous. No, don't do that. So I can't lie because I believed some of it.
And your ex was a Trump supporter, right?
No, not really.
Not really? Okay.
But he loved Bill O'Reilly. So it was, I'm independent.
Another sexual abuser. Yeah.
Bizarre, right?
Oof.
Oh, my God.
Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, my God. Falafel.
Talk about kryptonite to women. Oh, my God. Bill O'Reilly. Oof.
Terrible.
Anyway, yeah.
But, I mean, there was a time that I believed some of these things, but then you wake up, it gets old.
It does, and I think the country, many in the country, his shtick is getting old. He'll always have his base of supporters, but a lot of moderate Republicans that I talk to are saying what you just said. This act is getting old. His grievances with every single press conference, every interview, playing the victim when he took a $500 million company that his dad gave him. He's had yes men around him his whole life. He's never worked a normal job his entire life. And all he does is bitch and whine and complain. And I've had it. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Steven. Steven is next up on PTL. Hi, Steven. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
How you doing, Brian?
Good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And I don't go on lives at all, but I was thumbing through some stuff yesterday, and the interview that you done with Don Lemon on yesterday, it was absolutely outstanding.
Well, thank you.
And I think if you could air that somewhere, you know what I'm saying, on MSNBC or wherever, that would be great. That was one of the greatest interviews
I appreciate
have ever heard.
I can tell you, I will send that Don's way, and me and Don are working together to try to come up with me doing his show and maybe him doing my show on a regular basis. So you'll be hearing more from him for sure.
Yes, it was just outstanding.
Thank you.
Also, one of the things that we got to realize, and I listen to a lot of these lives, what Donald Trump has done, as well as a lot of people are overlooking, he has actually taught Americans now how to continue to lie over and over and over again to the point where they are beginning, where they have always believed their own lies. Also, I listen to some of the lives, and you got people coming on here like Mega or whatever. All of a sudden, they care about black people being incarcerated, saying that Vice President Harris, she locked up black people and
By the way,
when did they start caring about black men?
Which is, by the way, not
up?
true. You want to hear a stat? I'm going to give you a stat to both of you.
Yes.
It might surprise you. You hear a lot from the far right. She locked up all these people for marijuana charges. In 6 years, do you know how many people were put behind bars for that reason?
What is that?
45 people. And guess what? Of those 45 people, none of them were arrested for smoking a joint. Some of these people were arrested for making some hundreds of thousands, some millions of dollars growing marijuana and distribution. These were serious charges, and these were not first-time offenders either. 45 people in 6 years. I'm not a mathematician, but we're talking like, 7 or 8 people a year? That's nothing.
But he's talking about the lies. This is like they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. This is the same thing. They start with a little thing, and it spreads like wildfire.
And then our kids in schools are getting bomb threats. Local supermarkets are having to shut down. Churches are having to shut down. Pregnancy centers are having to shut down. And then you have morons and congressmen like Clay Higgins coming forward, telling them all to get the hell out of our country. Geez, I wonder where he got that idea from. Maybe from the orange turd, or this one's for her. Jesus. Yeah.
He normalized that behavior. This is not normal.
Two other things I want to bring up too, and you are masterful at this as well, Brian, and so is your guest. You're very masterful, and I've watched some of the other lives that some of the guys are outstanding as well. You asked Mega a question. Some of these people are just so uneducated, don't know why they believe what they believe other than stuff that's coming out of Donald Trump's mouth. Yeah. And when it boils down to it, they're just blatantly racist. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
This guy, Donald Trump, has really messed up America. And you know what? I'm a musician, and I play for many of churches. And right now, I'm leaving one church because of this simple fact. I got into a discussion with one of the pastors there, and she started looking at Fox News and talking about abortion. And I'm asking her, okay, if the MAGA and Trump and all of these people care about kids being unalive, what about all of these school shootings? They don't care about kids being gunned down in schools. A life is a life, whether it's
all they want to talk about. If a Democrat or any reasonable person wants to talk about gun control, they will immediately talk about black on black crime and what is going on in Chicago. And I agree with you. It doesn't matter whether it's in Chicago, an innocent person, or a child getting gunned down in our schools. Gun violence is gun violence. We have a problem in this country.
We do.
And Republicans don't want to talk about it. Republicans don't
don't want to.
Now is not the time, right? Is what you'll hear from so many of these MAGA Republicans.
Every single time.
Yeah, it's terrible. And let me tell you something. It's not Make America Great Again. It's MAWA. Make America White Again. It's MARA. Make America Racist Again. Now, those slogans I would believe to be true. There's nothing about making America great about attacking legal immigrants. It's nothing about making America great attacking brave men and women in uniform, attacking POWs, attacking anybody that disagrees with you on anything, writing love letters to evil, murderous dictators. That's not making anything great again. And when Kamala Harris says we're not going back, we're going forward, this is the kind of stuff she's talking about, right?
Some of the stuff that she's talking about, it's out of control.
Will you be going to the Kamala Harris rally on Sunday?
Oh, I didn't even know it wasn't. Usually they send me.
So they haven't announced exactly where in Vegas yet, but she will be here Sunday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I will be there.
You'll be
and
there?
I like to meet with my listeners and say hello to them. It's actually kind of cool.
Maybe I'll go with you.
You should. Yeah, we should both go. Absolutely. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Ray. Ray is next up on PTL. Hey, Ray, what's going on?
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Good.
Listen, I'm a black man, live in America, and I'm almost ashamed to say I'm a black African American because I'm telling you, man, I love the work you're doing. I caught wind of your show like almost 3 weeks ago, and it's like I'm addicted. I always get on to see if you got anything new.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm watching, and I got so much to say as being a black man in America, but I just don't understand these Republicans and these MAGAs, man. It's like it's a mental thing, and it scares me, man.
You know what
And
I
I'm a
would say
good
to
guy,
that?
man.
You know what I would say to what you just said? Listen, people can have whatever religion they want. I don't want to interfere in their lives, even though they want to interfere in ours. And I don't know if
Right.
you guys would agree with me on this, but I feel like those that are the most religious people, the most religious, some of them have mental issues. Okay. I feel the same way about MAGA supporters.
Very
it's
angry.
a cult, right? A cult. Now, listen, there are wonderful people in this country that are people of faith, and I have a lot of respect for them. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the ultra religious, alt-right people, evangelical Christians like the Sarah Huckabee Sanders of the world, who want to attack gay people, want to attack brown people, but
Right.
yet talk about God all the time. Or this guy, Clay Higgins, who literally takes an
Yeah.
entire group of people, calls them all thugs, many of them legal in this country,
Jesus Christ.
and then
Yeah, and
goes
I
to the
heard
back
that
and
today,
prays
and
to
I was
God.
disappointed when I heard that.
Yeah, I mean and then he prays to God, and Speaker Mike Johnson says
God,
everything's
right?
okay. Yeah,
What God?
yeah. If there is a God,
But
trust
what's
me,
your-
God is
what's-
not paying attention
Ryan,
to
what's your
anything Clay
guest
Higgins
name
says.
again?
What's up?
What's your guest name again?
Anna.
Anna.
Anna, how you doing? You made the right move.
Thank
You made
you.
the right move.
Thank
Trust
you.
me.
Well, I don't know if she made the right move
Jimmy-
meeting me and coming to the show, but she definitely made the right move voting for Kamala
All right.
Harris. That's for sure.
But thank you, man. My eyes is glued on you, brother.
Well, you know what? That means a lot. And I do this show every day because of people like you. And you will always have a voice on my show, my friend. You call back anytime. Thank you so much. 702-221-7283. See, you're getting a lot of love from my listeners. I knew this was going to happen.
Where are my haters at?
Oh, I'm sure there's a few out there. See, they're afraid to call in because they just don't want to be embarrassed. They know when they call.
They're afraid to call because it's always behind the keyboard.
Right.
Even when they have a real photo, I know who they are.
Yeah.
But it's always like that, and they never want to confront me.
Yeah, exactly. I would think a lot of the men that attack you are usually men that probably haven't been laid in like 30 years, and they attack people like you and these MAGA supporters that are out of shape, unhealthy, that are on government assistance, but they want to
drink
blame.
a lot. I'm telling you, these people drink. They do drugs. They're like out of control. But when you talk about religion, he talked. The other caller talked about religion. If you go on depending on the attacks, I already know it's going to say Christian, follower of Christ, whatever, God-fearing man. And I'm like, what God do you worship? Because you calling me, I can't even say, they say, oh, you're a prostitute. I'm not. I don't judge anybody how you put food
I think
on
they
your
had
table.
you confused.
I've never done that.
I think they have you confused with Melania Trump. I'm sorry. Yeah,
snap.
go ahead.
But yeah, and they say, oh, your photos are this and that. Well, similar photos to Melania, but she is forgiven, right? Like Trump, the guy cheated on all the wives. The guy, just grabs women whenever he wanted. He did that all his life.
But you know what? I don't attack Melania because of taking nude photos. In fact,
of course,
any woman or man, if people are paying for it, I have no problem with it. The reason why I have despise for Melania Trump, example, January 6th, she refused to put out any comment or tweet denouncing the violence. She cares more about her golden toilets and her rugs. She sells her $90 Christmas ornaments. Anything that she sells, I would use for toilet paper. She's a grifter. And she puts in her memoir and talks about how I fell in love with Donald Trump. No, she fell in love with all the zeros. That's what she fell in love with. I have
Fell in love with what?
Yeah, I have zero respect for, Only thing she ever did was she cared about her tennis courts and the new rugs in the White House. She did nothing to help the American people. That's why I despise her. It has nothing to do with her taking her clothes off. I could care less about that. You know, it has everything to do with her character or lack of a moral compass. And then she talks about, oh, I'm going on an anti-online bullying campaign when your stupid husband bullies people online every day. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Tez. Tez is next up on PTL. What's up, Tez?
Brian, one thing the last couple of days have taught me is you have become quite the ladies' man. You're like the new Elvis. And so congratulations. And Anna, congratulations on getting yourself out of the cult. You know, I hear you guys talking about Christian nationalism, and I really believe that we need to get the hashtag fake Christian going on because they're anything but like Christ. They're not Christ-like in any way, shape, or form. They're alarmists. They're quick to hate. They vocalize it. They're hypocritical. They go to church and they flip you off for taking their parking spot before they go in and claim that they're praying. So kind of like Clay Higgins, he prayed on it. He prayed to Jack Daniels, right? So Mike Johnson contorting himself to try to make excuses for the blatant, overt racism.
This is a guy who voted for David Duke. This is a guy who said, well, yeah, David Duke is a self-proclaimed Nazi, but he still voted for him for governor, the Klansman. What would you say about somebody like that? Let me tell you something. If Donald Trump on the next debate, if there is another debate, which there probably won't be because he's a coward, showed up in a Klan outfit, many of his supporters would still vote
be
for
like,
him.
oh, he's just joking.
Yeah, it was just a joke.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween. Exactly. They would still vote for him.
See?
These people
They're
are
creative.
Klan cultists. That's what they are. They're a bunch of Clay Higgins. I don't know what else to say.
Well, Brian, if you remember, you can look this up. This is factually accurate. Steve Scalise, when he ran locally in Louisiana, claimed he was David Duke without the baggage. So it's not just one guy from Louisiana.
It wouldn't
It's probably
surprise
all
me.
of them.
Wouldn't surprise me if Steve Scalise said that.
These people are trash.
He's another despicable human being. And by the way, should we be surprised that Steve Scalise defended Clay Higgins yesterday on the House floor? Yeah, despicable people. Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate you. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Kava. Kava's next up on PTL. What's up, Kava?
Hi, Brian. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
So, hi, Anna, as well. I'm from Ecuador, so I understand what's going on. So, I was going to say I'm extremely proud of you, and you've made Latina Americana proud. And I want to say that MAGA is going to pay for what they've done to this country. Latina Americana is not going to stand by and let MAGA destroy America. We're just not. We're going to be out there. We're going to vote. And Kamala Harris is going to win. Simple as that.
Let's vote.
That's right, Kava. I appreciate your call. It sounded like your phone was cutting out a little bit there, a little distortion, but
thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your kind words, Kava. Thank you so much. Good to hear from you. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Andrea, who's next up on PTL. Hello, Andrea.
Hello. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I just recently ran across you. I'm a big fan. I love everything you're doing.
Thank you.
I am currently living in the Deep South. I transferred to Gulf Coast, Mississippi for my job. I am an avid civil rights activist. I'm a member of the NAACP. I am a white woman married to a black man, which in itself presents some ridicule.
From the right,
But-
I would say most people on the left would
And
not
in the Deep
would
South.
actually, yeah, in the Deep South too. But most people on the left, I would think, would praise you and think it's a wonderful thing to have a biracial family, and I think that's great. But let's be honest, the hate and the people that give you looks, I would imagine, and I'm sorry you have to go through that, are not people on the left. They're not Kamala Harris supporters. Let's be honest, they're Donald Trump supporters.
Right. So here's my concern. I am a Kamala Harris supporter. I've been Democrat all my life. However, I am married to Cornel West's Cornel West's nephew.
Wow. So maybe you can get me Cornel West on the show.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but if he was doing a little better in the polls, I might consider it. But
Yeah.
he's a liability right now.
Right.
But anyway, I'm out and about in the community, and I wear my Kamala T-shirts. And I was subject to some hate somebody keyed my vehicle in the grocery store parking lot.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Which I'm dead serious.
I'm so sorry
But
to
you
hear
know what?
that.
It's not going to stop me. I'm going to keep going.
Now, can I ask
Also,
you,
being in public,
what did somebody just see you wearing a Harris shirt? Like, why? What caused them to do that? You
Yes.
think?
yes, I got out of my car. I had my Harris T-shirt on, and it wasn't 5 minutes. I came out, and somebody had keyed my car.
See how cowards they are? They won't do it to your
Yeah,
face.
it's
always
sad.
unbelievable.
But what I'm finding a lot is I'm being approached by a lot of Black people. The town that I live in is 95% Black.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being approached in the public saying, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. You must be very brave. I can't wear something like that.
Oh, look at that.
And it just amazes me. When is somebody going to stop the hateful rhetoric? And when are people not going to be afraid anymore?
Well, I think it'll start. Here's the best way I can answer that question, my dear. And I am so glad, appalled by somebody keying your car. And you do sound like a very brave woman. Here's the best way I could answer that question. It will start when Donald Trump loses in November. It starts there. It's not going to end there, but it'll start there where you'll have less and less, I think, bigotry and hatred, or at least people showing it publicly, right? But Donald Trump needs to lose in November. And I am worried. I'm not going to sit here and say that I am overly confident. She had a great debate, but I am still worried. This is a very close race.
I'm very worried.
Yeah.
This is not in the bag.
No,
it's not. We have to show up.
Yeah.
But it starts with her wearing a T-shirt. Maybe your neighbor will see you, a friend of yours will see you, and you can, everyone starts wearing the shirt.
Right.
Look, we're in the West Coast. For us, it's different. We have a lot of diversity. We have more like a liberal, towards leaning liberal or liberals, West Coast. I never been to like the deep South. I could only imagine.
Confederate
but she has
flags.
She has a
what
lot
type
of courage.
Country are we living in where you can't listen? You could be wearing a Donald Trump shirt. I'm not going
to do anything.
I'm not going to key your car. I might look at you and say, "Well, you look like this or that. You're a moron," but I wouldn't say it. I would keep it to myself.
I would ignore.
Yeah, and just move on with my day. What type of country are we living in where the former president of the United States, says get them the hell out when talking about legal immigrants?
Calls us enemies.
Right. And says get them the hell out while the crowd chants send them back. His rallies are Klan rallies, ladies and gentlemen. These are not normal, everyday, good, hardworking Americans. When you chant send them back, you are a bigot and a racist. You know what? All of you MAGA morons that chant that stuff out, I pray to God for all you MAGA Christians out there. I'm praying right now. So Mike Johnson would be very proud of me. I am praying for all of you bastards out there that chant send them back. I hope all of you are put on a train and sent to Afghanistan or Russia and never come back. I pray, God. I'll pray to Cheeto Jesus, okay? Please put all of you MAGA morons that chant send them back on a plane or a train. Have Ron DeSantis give you all pamphlets, okay, that say you're not allowed back into this country, okay? I pray. That's my praying for the day, Anna. That's my praying, and I stand by it. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Karen. Karen is next up on PTL. What's up, Karen?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hey.
I can honestly say that I when I first found your show, I love your show so much. I try to make sure I catch it every day. I don't care what I'm doing. I got my earphone, my earplug on. I'm trying to catch you every day because I really love your show.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you so much.
Anna, I really hope that there are more people like you that just really aren't saying that they're going to vote for Kamala because they're afraid, but I do praise the fact that you came up in the public and made how you feel and just to get rid of those people. It's just really sad. It's just really sad.
Appreciate
that. I didn't, I always voted, but I didn't really get passionate about voting until Obama. But I didn't see the hatred until Trump. I really just think that this world is in trouble.
Yeah, I really was able to see more when Elon took over.
Yeah.
It all came to light. The free speech.
Yeah.
They don't hold back anymore.
Yeah.
There's enough data. What MAGA? If you're listening, MAGA, what are you still doing in it? Come on,
Here's
people.
something else
Come
too.
on.
The fact that Elon Musk would allow a tweet from Clay Higgins, and by the way, that was nice compared to some of the other hateful tweets I see about legal Haitian immigrants. The fact that is even allowed on his platform says everything you need.
Care.
It has nothing to do with freedom of speech. It has everything to do with almost endorsing bigotry and hatred when you allow people with huge platforms to say things like that.
NASA contracts. That's what he wants.
We're going to have to do history, make a history and vote blue because we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
We're in trouble if Donald Trump wins in November. I agree, but I think there is a pathway forward for the future with Harris. I do believe that, and I appreciate you, and I am glad there's people like you out there that listen to this show. I hope I'm not costing you money. I hope you're not doing work and I'm distracting you. I don't want that to happen, but I appreciate you listening every day, my dear, as I do with all my loyal listeners. Thank you. See what I mean when I say my listeners are
they're lovely calls,
educated and very informed people on the right side of history for the most part. 702-221-7283. Denise is next. Hello, Denise.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
How are you? I'm from Long Island, and I'm an immigrant myself, so I'm a legal immigrant, but, I'm European immigrant with some Jewish heritage.
Well, you better get your head examined if you don't vote for Donald Trump. I'm just kidding. That's what he says. I would say that.
Yeah, no, my head's fine. My head's on straight, and I'm all the way with Kamala. So
good.
Yes, and it's good to see Anna's, got the. I have to move because I hear myself on your radio.
Oh, you got a little echo there? Yep.
I can't understand these people who, you tell them something like Project 2025. Oh, that's just a bunch of Democrat propaganda. Trump has denounced it. He knows nothing about it, blah, 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 and
just like a
so I just tell them, have another hit of your Colt 45 Kool-Aid and, keep believing Donald Trump.
They haven't read that, and they haven't read Agenda 47 because it's pretty much the same thing. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I'm glad that there are people like you out there, and we have to do our job come November. And when and if that does happen, we are going to have a big celebration on the show. We're either going to have a big celebration on the show with all of my listeners, or we're all going to be very depressed. It's going to be one or the other.
God, no.
I hope it's not the latter, but I
want to
appreciate.
Celebrate.
Yes, let's hope that we can celebrate. I don't know. Am I allowed to drink on the air? I might do that the day after if Kamala wins, and I might.
Or you show up like hungover.
Yeah, or hungover, one or the other. Yeah, 702-221-7283. Let's go to Valerie. Valerie's next up on PTL. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
Valerie, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, go right ahead.
Okay, this is the first time I've seen your show, Brian.
Oh, wow. Where have you been all my life?
In Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, well, thank you for finding the show. I hope you enjoy it.
What I want to say is I have a quick question for Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, are you related to Sonia Braga?
No, I'm not. I get that a lot. I'm not. It's a very common name in Brazil. Braga is very common.
For the record, I'll make it about myself. I am definitely not related to Ben Shapiro, that little weasel.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, just to be clear on that. I get that. Are you related to Ben Shapiro? No, that guy's the opposite of me, that little
Can
weasel.
You imagine?
Oh, my God. I want to get in a boxing ring with that guy. That's somebody I know I can take. I can't take a lot of people. I can take Ben Shapiro.
I can take him, too.
Yeah, you probably could. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, what I wanted to say was I've always disliked Trump. Always, always, always. I mean, I'm a New Yorker, ex-New Yorker, and I have some of the same problems that he has as far as having no filters.
Yeah. But it's not.
But I want to say that I've hated him. I've been scared of him.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the what is it? The Project
2025. But I just want to say this. It's not about not having a filter. It's about having a moral compass. You can be honest, and maybe some people don't like what you have to say. I don't think most of us have a problem with that. What we have a problem with is the hateful rhetoric, the bigotry, and the lies. That's not necessarily not having a filter. That's just not knowing how to tell the truth, right?
Lies.
Yeah. I mean, that's all he does is lie.
Yeah, and so does MAGA.
Yeah.
They lie
They lie for him.
They lie, and they lie about everybody that they don't like.
And they don't have any facts to back
Kamala
up
slapped
anything.
her way through. I'm a prostitute. I'm a transgender. I mean, they lie about everything, and I think it's projection. A lot of these people.
And then you have the Mark Robinsons of the world who attack transgenders, and then it turns out he's the one that's watching transgender porn.
I'm telling you, they like it.
Some of the people that are the biggest anti-LGBTQ people are usually people that are gay themselves, and they're afraid to come out, and I really feel sorry for them. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you would like to be a part of the conversation. I believe our next caller, if I'm not mistaken, is Robert. I also remind everybody to check out my new website, pushingthelimits.live. Again, pushingthelimits.live. Robert, thank you for calling into the PTL radio show. What's on your mind today?
Not much, but I want to thank you for all your hard work, man, and keeping these people honest.
Thank you.
And with your help, man, I've started writing poetry, and it's all policy-based. This one I want to do for you, if you allow me, I call it MAGA the Clown.
I'd love to hear it. Go right ahead.
Okay, so there was once this little clown who wore his colorful little hat. The difference between this clown and the many I have seen in this journey that we call life is the venom he would spit was full of gluttony and hate. The dreams he would speak of were for his golden calf. Sued more times than the Bible has books. Misogynistic in his ways. He'd grab him by the puss.
All right.
I think it's got a good ring to it, my friend.
I like it.
Thank y'all.
Keep writing.
Robert, write me another one every week. That's what I want you to do. I think we disconnected with you by accident. Robert, I appreciate that.
Oh, my goodness.
I would like you to call back with a poem every single week, and I promise you I will air it and I will repost it, Robert. We hung up on you by accident. That was our fault. My apologies. Please call back. 702-221. I'm inspiring people to write poetry.
That's nice.
I kind of like that.
Inspire people.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Starting something here.
Look at that. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Carrie. Carrie is next up on PTL. Hi, Carrie. What's going on?
Hello. I really, really enjoy your podcast. I really love it. I'm calling from El Paso, Texas, and I've been wanting to let you know. Donald Trump has yet to pay our city for his campaigning that he did here back in 2016. He still hasn't paid.
Wow.
And just a couple of weeks ago, I saw in the local news that they're, trying to file a suit for him to pay. And then this Walmart shooter, I just heard that he's not going to trial until 2027.
Well, that's absurd. By the way,
something, and I believe that Donald Trump, because of his hatred that he spewed back when he was campaigning. I mean, this Crucius guy.
So let me bring people back.
He was a martyr for him.
Let me bring people back to that Texas El Paso shooting. In this Animals Manifesto, he referenced Donald Trump and Donald Trump's rhetoric, partly for why he decided to kill a bunch of innocent brown people in a Walmart. And then when Governor Abbott, also known as Governor Abhole, who is a disgrace, was asked about this shooting and asked about gun control, he did what all these right-wing morons do, talked about God and thoughts and prayers, and says, now's not the time to talk about gun control. You have one of the most despicable governors in the entire country.
Exactly. Him and Cruz. I can't stand that, man.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Part of this is the enabling because of Donald Trump's hateful rhetoric and the fact that coward governors like Governor Abhole does nothing about it when it comes to gun control. He literally went into a Walmart killing as many innocent brown people as possible, in part because of Donald Trump's rhetoric, just like the Haitian immigrant stuff. And it's it's so despicable, my dear. And I'm just going to continue.
And you know what?
Yep.
I live like less than a mile from the border fence. I see that fence every single day. I see that fence, and it's just disgusting,
It is.
I've seen these immigrants, suffering.
Atrocious.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
you're absolutely right, and it is.
It's a
And yet,
monstrosity over
when
there.
you listen to these MAGA Republicans talk about immigrants, whether legal or not,
Like
they don't want people.
animals.
Yeah, they don't want people like you in this country.
As long, this is what I forgot to say, as long as you bash where you come from, bash who you are, pick me, talk bad about your community, either if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're gay, if you're bash. That's why when you see black people, gay people in MAGA, it's because they're putting themselves down.
Yeah.
They're bashing themselves, like kind of like Candace Owens. That's why they love those people. Oh, we accept you because you don't
Right.
like where you came from.
Right.
You don't like who you are.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you can't, we feel bad for you, so we accept you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If Donald Trump does lose in November, it's going to be because of people like you, people that maybe have seen the light, that are on the other side now, voters that maybe didn't vote for him in 2016, voters that did vote for him in 2016 and maybe even 2020. It's going to be because of people like you and moderate Republicans and independents. That's why, and I want to be clear on that. That's
But Brian, one more thing, like I tell women, when you go into that booth, either you're married to a MAGA, it doesn't matter. No one's going to know who you're voting for. So vote for Kamala, please, because there's nothing about that is pro-women in MAGA.
Right.
Unless you elevate the man, you worship the man, there's nothing for you there.
Right.
What's in you that is causing you to be okay with the mistreatment?
Agreed. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Well, Anna, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having
We'll
me.
definitely love to have you back, and maybe I can get you a media credential to go cover the Kamala Harris rally. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but
let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I appreciate you being here.
Thank
It's been a
you.
lot of fun, and I think my callers appreciate you being here as well.
They're
and
lovely.
And hopefully you'll come back soon. You're welcome back.
Yes,
You're welcome
thank
back
you.
anytime. Great for you to be here, Anna Braga, everybody. All right, so quickly before we go, check out my new website, pushingthelimits.live. Again, that new website, pushingthelimits.live, where you can help support this independently run show. You go on pushingthelimits.live, you check out the merchandise we sell on there, the shirts, the hats, you name it. And if you don't want to buy merchandise, there's a donation button right on the front page there. $5, $10, $20 a month, whatever you can afford, we appreciate. Pushingthelimits.live, and you're helping support what we do on this show. Also, my socials on YouTube at PTL Radio Show. Subscribe for free. Very fast, ever-growing YouTube channel. At PTL Radio Show on X. We're on all forms of social media. We will be joined tomorrow by a Kamala Harris surrogate. I've been told a very high-profile one, because Harris is going to be in town Sunday. The very beautiful and talented Nicole Mitchell will be joining us tomorrow on the program as well. And we will also be joined by the independent himself. You've probably heard his commercials on this show before. He's a former Republican, and he has turned independent. And I'm going to keep that as a surprise, even though some of you probably already know who I'm talking about. But he's going to be joining us on the show as well, and he's trying to replace Dina Titus on the show. So I'm certainly looking forward to that as well. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to Anna Braga. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Ron Quince, and I'm running for Congress as a nonpartisan candidate in District 1. I'm dedicated to serving our entire community. In this challenging time, it's more important than ever to have leaders who focus on unity and progress. I believe in putting people over politics and finding practical solutions that benefit us all. Never